it's that time. I'm not on camera again. Didn't feel like doing it. But let's do a quick video ranking all 8 Leprechaun films. At number 8 for me, and we can have a debate in the comments. Y'all know I love to see it. But number 8 for me is going to be Back to the Hood. I hated Back to the Hood. Okay, why you ask? Number 1, I didn't appreciate the fact that the tone was so uneven. The fact that they tried to make it like a serious horror film, but then had terrible jokes in it. I didn't like the fact that it was so stereotypical of how black folks and people of color act in the ghetto and the hood. And it almost told the line of offensive, which I was not here for, especially considering the fact that there were no black people in the writer's room. And overall, it was just dumb. And honestly, unnecessary. So, Back to the Hood, you are at the back of the line. Goodbye. Number 7 for me is going to be Leprechaun 2. That movie was so boring. I hated it so much. The only thing that stopped it from being in last place for me was the fact that it has some pretty cool kills. Like his pot of gold being in the one guy's belly. That was an awesome ass kill. And the illusion turning into a fan and the boy cutting his face on the blades. That was an awesome ass kill. But those are the only 2 kills that were actually probably really good. The rest were meh. So Leprechaun 2 is going to be number 7 for me. Number 6, Leprechaun Origins. Now, I know y'all surprised. Leprechaun Origins is probably the lowest rated of the Leprechaun films, but for me, the reason why it's gonna be number 6 is because it had potential. It was just poorly executed. The way that it was shot, I feel like it was intentional to not show the costuming for the leprechaun. The storyline was pretty basic, and they could have done a lot more with it to kind of have made it a little bit more infighting within the group versus it just them running away from this creature and from the village people. The thing that really saved it for me was Teach Grant and his performance as Sean. He did an amazing job. I feel like his performance was way better than what that film deserved. But it's because of him that I felt like this one for me would be number 6. 5. So the top 5 was kind of a challenge for me, and this is probably where a lot of the debates will happen in the comment section, if there are any, because y'all probably just gonna agree with all of my choices. But number 5 for me is gonna be Leprechaun 3 Viva Las Vegas. That's not the title, but that's what I call it. Now, Viva Las Vegas had some really good kills. It was really entertaining. And had it not been for that stupid rival leprechaun storyline, this easily could have been the top 3 for me. But because I hated that storyline so much, I felt like it was unnecessary. And it could have just been the people in Vegas being greedy and wanting to steal his gold or get wishes. I feel like the story writes itself. The need to add a dueling leprechaun storyline was just unnecessary. It kind of drugged the plot down, and it just didn't need to be there. So that is why Leprechaun 3 Viva Las Vegas is going to be number 5 for me. Number 4, y'all. Now this this might be where we have a little beef, okay? But it's my opinion. This is my ranking, okay? I love y'all. Y'all can do y'all own video, y'all own rankings, but this is my ranking. Number 4 is going to be the OG Leprechaun number 1. Hear me out. Hear me out. I know it's the OG one. It's the original one. And if you saw my reaction, you know I cracked up watching that one. But the reason I was laughing so hard is because it was so ridiculous. The stuff they had that Leprechaun doing was insane. And that made it fun for me. But I think what hurt it was the conflict between the director and the studio, and the director wanting to make more of a traditional horror film and the studio wanted to make a horror comedy. And so there were moments when you could see the director was trying to throw in some of his horror and the studio was like, nope, let's be gimmicky, let's be slapstick. And so the inconsistency in the tone kind of made it just like, okay, let's figure out what the hell we got going on here. This is another one that had a lot of good potential, but the people behind the camera, and not the director, but the ones funding it, kind of ruined it a little bit. But the OG Leprechaun is going to be number 4 for me. All right, y'all, rounding out our top 3. Leprechaun in the Hood. Y'all already know. Straight bullet to the heart. Straight bullet to the heart. That look, initially I was like, I've seen this before. I feel like it's super offensive. Like, I'm not feeling it. But after I watched it again and after editing it, so I had to watch it a few times, I enjoy Leprechaun in the Hood. The rap scenes are ridiculous, but they're funny. Lep is probably his funniest in this. The side characters were funny. I hate the ending. If the ending was not the way it was, one probably would have been like number 2 for me. But Leprechaun in the Hood, it's just a good time and it's funny. And if it was on TV, I would actually sit down and watch it. So Leprechaun in the Hood is going to be number 3 for me. Number 2, Leprechaun in Space. Y'all cannot believe I'm saying this. As I was watching Leprechaun in Space, y'all already know, I was like, what is this? This is ridiculous. And I was talking crazy about it. But again, after editing it, having to watch it a few times and kind of replaying it in my mind, I had a good ass time watching Leprechaun in Space. It was ridiculous. The thing that I hated about it, Lep having gun battles with people, ended up being the thing that I loved about it because it's so ridiculous. Where are we in space? And I feel like of all the disconnected sequels, this was the one that took it to the most extreme in the most fun way. It understood what it was. It didn't take itself too serious. It's like, bitch, we are already making a movie about a leprechaun. Why not put his ass in space? We might as well. We ain't doing nothing else. And I appreciated it. I know they had some issues with budgeting and graphics, and maybe their ideas and their creativity was bigger than what their wallet can handle. But I feel like for what they gave us, I would watch it for sure. Guilty pleasure. Enjoy it, okay? And number 1, the best Leprechaun film in the franchise thus far, hands down, Leprechaun Returns. Leprechaun Returns. First of all, the connection to the original one, they did that well. Bringing back Ozzy, I was here for it. It was funny. It had jump scares. The leprechaun, the guy that played the leprechaun this time, he did a really good job, you know, taking on that role, considering Warwick Davis made Leprechaun so iconic. I think he did a really good job. They paid homage to the original very well. It was even toned. Like, it was a good ass time. It's definitely another one that I would watch it again, guilty pleasure, and would have a good time watching it. So guys, that is my ranking of all 8 Leprechaun films. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Did you agree with my rankings? What would you change around? What's your favorite Leprechaun film? What's your least favorite, y'all? Let's get the conversation going in the comment section. And as always, y'all, like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel. And I'm going to see you guys in a few weeks for season 4 of Fright Night Friday. Good night, guys.